Hey folks, it's Simon here with your Tao Daily for 1st of April 2025. Volatile session overnight. The S&Ps they opened a little bit lower, they traded lower, they bounced a bit, and they ended up settling higher. You can see on the intraday chart here, little gap down at the open, little rally, sell-off, decent sized rally, another sell-off, and then another decent rally. So close up 0.28%. So far, these lows that I highlighted yesterday have been defended. Now, there is clearly high anxiety about so-called Liberation Day tomorrow when we're going to know what's happening with the tariffs. Or let's say the market hopes to get greater clarity on what's happening with tariffs. Now, there is this little theory running around that the administration deliberately want to cause a recession because the theory is a recession is going to be the only way they can get bond yields much lower, and that's their primary focus given the $10 trillion worth of debt that needs to be refinanced over the next 12 months. I'm calling hogwash on that theory. I think the idea of deliberately causing a recession is disingenuous because a recession would cause the deficit to blow out even further. It would also reduce tax receipts, which would cause the deficit to blow out further. And obviously, the market is concerned about the inflationary impact of tariffs as well. So, I'd be surprised if they're super heavy-handed with tariffs tomorrow. And I do think that the market is kind of priced for bearishness, shall we say. So one possibility here is that regardless of the tariff announcements, the markets could rally. Why do I say that? Because we've got a sell the rumor, buy the news kind of event potentially on our hands with Liberation Day tomorrow. What I mean by that is once we get the event, i.e. Liberation Day, the tariff deadline out of the way, the market will probably rally post that event regardless of the content of that event because of the de-risking that's occurred pre the event. As soon as the market gets some clarity, we could see a rally. That doesn't mean we go from a downtrend to an uptrend. It just means that we get a tradable bounce to the upside. Now, important to note, this is just my opinion. This is conjecture on my part. You should never trade opinions. You should only trade setups. But given the amount of panic and desperate hand-wringing I'm seeing into this tariff deadline tomorrow, it just seems to me that everyone is super bared up about the event, and that in itself can create the conditions for a bounce. The other thing to bear in mind is that a 10% pullback in the S&P has always been a buying opportunity, provided the US economy can avoid a recession. Now, whether we can avoid a recession in 2025 is a different question, but I do not believe they're trying to deliberately engineer one. That's what I got for you. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you.